Hey guys, Justin here. It's time for another pillow party. Last year I reviewed 10 pillows and you guys seemed to really like that video, so I brought back a whole new bunch of pillows to test out. I didn't duplicate any pillows other than the one that I thought was the best from last year, so go check out my other video. I'll post a link in the video description as well as up in the corner there. So we'll quickly go over the specs. I have them sorted here from lightest to heaviest, and I'll just give you what the weights are, what the costs are, and what the names of the pillows are. I'll post links to different retailers' sites for all these pillows so you can check out any specs if you missed them, as well as pick one up if you want to buy any of these pillows if they pique your interest. I do get a small commission if you do buy one of these pillows through that link, which does help me afford buying 18 pillows in the span of 12 months. I've been using all these pillows quite a bit over the last little while. Some of them I've been using for 6 months or a year. Other ones I've only been using for 3 months, but I've been using all of them for at least 3 months, and I've put them through a lot of testing, both in the field and just using around my house. As I look at all these pillows today, I definitely consider comfort to be the #1 priority and first thing that I look at, followed by weight and cost as secondary characteristics that I'm looking at for each of these pillows. And they do fall into 2 different categories. There's a good category, and then some are just terrible and I consider bad pillows that you probably just shouldn't even purchase or look at all. Let's put the good pillows off to the side and we'll start by looking at the bad pillows. So I have 2 pillows here that I consider to be bad. The Exped Air Light and then the Climate X. Both of these are quite terrible for their own reasons, but most of it just comes down to comfort. The Climate X just has this weird baffling system. I know some people who actually really like this pillow, but I tried using this pillow a bunch and I just could not get comfortable on it. Every time I laid on it, there's some weird lump or some weird dip in the pillow that I just couldn't get comfortable on. So the Climate, just not a great pillow and I wouldn't recommend it. The Exped Air looks good on paper, and when I first picked it up I was actually pretty excited about it. I thought it'd be a very comfortable pillow, but the way the baffling works, it's quite lumpy right at the front here where your neck would go, and then once you lay on it, this middle part actually balloons up quite a bit and puts a lot of pressure on your ear, and it just feels really uncomfortable and weird. The fact that I couldn't get comfortable on this pillow puts in the bad category, and we're not even going to look at that pillow in much detail. So that means that there's 6 pillows that I consider to be pretty good pillows, and if you picked up any of these, you'd probably be very comfortable and have a great night's sleep. But we're gonna find out which one is the best out of the bunch. First up, we have the Climate Luxe. And this was probably my least favorite out of the pillows that I consider to be good pillows. It is a hybrid pillow. It has a foam topper and then an air bladder that you inflate. And that foam topper does add some comfort, but not nearly as much as a lot of the other pillows that also have foam toppers. What I found uncomfortable about this pillow and a little bit weird was that the material and the bladder that's underneath the topper just feels a little bit crinkly and moves around in weird ways as you're laying on it. The crinkliness does go away a little bit, but it's still there even after quite a bit of use. Overall, it is a fairly comfortable pillow, and if you can pick it up on a really good sale, then you might as well grab it. But just with that little bit of crinkliness to it and the fact that it's actually a super heavy pillow means that it wasn't my favorite out of the good pillows that are out there. Next up, we have the Sea to Summit Aeros Ultralight Deluxe, and this is a massive pillow. This thing's almost as big as the pillow that I use at home on a regular basis and has some great features. This baffling system that you see here is the same kind of baffling system that is found on Sea to Summit's sleeping pads, and it's great for providing stability to the pillow. You can be laying anywhere on this massive pillow and it's really comfortable. What I found was I wasn't using the entire pillow real estate. I'd just be sleeping on one corner and the other 3/4 of the pillow weren't getting used. What I'd like to see Sea to Summit try is add a U-shaped bottom to it to notch your shoulder into, as well as make it about half the size. Then I think they'd have a real winner on their hands. And other than this one, I haven't really liked all the other Sea to Summit pillows because they don't have good baffling stability, whereas this pillow has the stability and is great for that. Here we have the Nemo Filo Elite. And after my last video, a lot of you went to the comments section and recommended the Nemo Filo line of pillows to me. This one is the lighter one. mostly because it has a little bit less foam on the top. It does have a really thin layer of foam, but the other filo that we're gonna look at a bit has a really thick foam layer. Even though it doesn't have as much foam on top, it has a really, really soft pillowcase that makes the pillow really comfortable. What I didn't like about this pillow was that it felt a little small, and I think part of that is just not having that curved bottom to it for your shoulder to slide into, as well as when I laid on it, my head felt a little bit perched. And I'm not sure why, because when I look at it, just like on the table here, it looks like the baffling system should cradle your head quite nicely, but as soon as I laid down on it, my head just felt perched above it, and like I might roll off either side. But all in all, it was still quite a comfortable pillow, just not quite there with some of the features that it has. On to another Exped pillow, and this one's much better than the other one. This is the Exped REM, and it is another hybrid pillow. It has an inflatable air bladder as well as foam on top. The foam for this one is made out of pieces of recycled foam from the self-inflating sleeping mats that Nemo makes, and is really comfortable. I really like that technology used in pillows, and it results in a pillow that's comfortable and also fairly light. This one has a really nice soft cover on it, which is great. And another great feature is this two-way valve that's on the back here. You can undo that, and unless you pull on this little tab here, it's not going to deflate, and that makes inflation and deflation a breeze. Something you can just see here now on the sides are these two little tabs that you could attach cord to in order to make a sleeping pad attachment. And that's something I haven't talked about yet, because there's only one pillow out of all these that has built-in sleeping pad attachments, but it's a feature that I think is amazing. And what I've been doing with the REM as I've been using it is I've put a piece of shot cord through each side and then wrapped it around my sleeping pad, and it creates a really nice sleeping pad attachment system. And what that does is prevents your pillow from sliding away from you. I bet most of you have had that problem if you don't stuff your pillow inside your sleeping bag, is that you're sleeping and then all of a sudden your pillow's way off in the other corner of your tent, and that's terrible. The one thing that I didn't like about this pillow, and it was the reason why it didn't come in first place as my favorite pillow, is that the baffling is not super supportive. Unless you have this thing fully inflated, which I don't find super comfortable, it makes it a little bit too high for the way I sleep, you're gonna have a little bit of movement side to side and ballooniness with the pillow. And if you watch my last video, you know that I really don't like ballooniness in a pillow and think it's just a poor design of baffling system. And the Exped is better than a lot of poorly baffled pillows out there, but it's still not perfect, and I'd like to see some improvement on that. If you like fully inflating your pillows and don't mind a taller stack height, then the Exped REM is probably the pillow for you. It just has that really nice, soft, comfortable foam topping, as well as a good valve and these two loops for making a homemade sleeping pad attachment system. So definitely consider this if that's up your alley. And here we have the Trichology 2.0. In my last video, I looked at the Trichology 1.0. This is the upgraded version that has a few features that just make it a little bit better than the other one. The other one was great, but this one just takes it to the next level. I've done a full review video of this pillow, so I'll post a link to that in the video description. And if you watch that video, you know that I do love this pillow. It has great features. First of all, it has this nice curved bottom that you can fit your shoulder into. It also has great baffling. It's supportive throughout the entire pillow, and you always feel like your head's nicely cradled no matter where you're sleeping. It also has my favorite feature, and that's the sleeping pad attachment. It's removable, which you lose a little bit of weight if you do that, but I think it's really worth it to have the sleeping pad attachment, so you can just wrap this around your sleeping pad and then not have your pillow fly away from you in the middle of the night. It also has a two-way valve, which is great. Really makes inflation and deflation nice. You just press this button and then it starts deflating. Great feature to have on a pillow, and something that I really like. What it's missing is it doesn't have a foam topper, which would make it quite a bit more comfortable. The material that they do use on the 2.0 version versus the version 1 is a little bit stretchier and softer, which does add some comfort, but just isn't quite as good as having a foam top to it. For around 100 grams though, and $16, the Trichology 2.0 is a great pillow, and I highly recommend it. So we've got down to the two heavyweights, the ThermaRest Airhead and the Nemo Filo. And not just because they're heavy pillows, because they are. These are not ultralight pillows, but they're the kings of comfort, and most of that is because they both have a really nice foam topper. But let's talk about the ThermaRest Airhead first. This is the pillow that I thought was the #1 pillow in my last review, and that's because of a few amazing features. First up, it has this curved bottom to it, which you know I really like. It also has really good baffling. You can be laying anywhere on this pillow and it's gonna be really comfortable and supportive. It also is really comfortable regardless of how much you inflate it. You could have it fully inflated or fully deflated and it's gonna be a comfortable pillow still, and the baffling's still gonna be supportive. I like to keep it at about 50% inflated. I find that the nice sweet spot. When it's fully inflated, it just gets a little bit high for me and a little bit firm. So 50% is great for me. If you get this pillow and you find that's a little bit uncomfortable, try just really deflating it quite a bit, and I bet you find that sweet spot. The one thing I really don't like about this pillow is the classic ThermaRest twist valve. I don't know why these things are still kicking around. Everyone else has moved on to two-way valves for the most part, but we have this twist valve and you basically have to do breathing gymnastics in order to get this pillow inflated the way you want. So come on, ThermaRest. I know you just invented that new valve for your sleeping pads, but even that one, based on a little bit of playing around I've done, isn't great. We just should really go the way of the two-way valve because it just makes inflation and deflation that much easier. And then we have here the Nemo filo. And this was by far the most recommended and talked about pillow in the comments section of my last video, and I know it's a really popular one just around the world and with backpackers and campers in general, and that's because of the really comfortable thick foam top that it has on this. Nemo killed it with the material that they chose for the foam topper. It's the perfect amount of plushness and firmness and is probably about that thick. It's really comfortable foam and nothing else really compares to it. The Airhead has a nice foam top as well, but it's just not quite as plush and comfortable as on the Nemo filo. The filo also has pretty good baffling. It's really supportive from side to side and doesn't have that much of a balloony feel. It's not quite as good as the Trichology or Airhead, but is definitely adequate and is really comfortable to lay on. It has a pillowcase like its brother there, and you can remove the pillowcase and wash it, and that's a really nice feature. It's definitely a really comfortable pillow, but also keep in mind that this is by far the heaviest pillow of the bunch, and that's one of the trade-offs for getting that comfort. So which pillow do I think is the best? Let's bring up the Trichology 2.0 here, because I think it's between these three pillows as far as which one is the best, and they're all great in their own way. So I'm just gonna give out 3 different awards for all 3 pillows. Most comfortable definitely goes to the Nemo filo. If comfort's your priority and you don't really care about cost or weight, then the Nemo filo is probably by far the #1 choice that you should consider. As far as features go, the Trichology 2.0 is definitely a winner. This thing has a ton of features, is really comfortable, really supportive. If you just want a nice built-in sleeping pad attachment system, then get the Trichology, and it's amazingly priced at $16. The Airhead gets the best all-around pillow. This thing just is all-around great pillow, and right now it's on sale at ThermaRest's website. I'll have that link in the video description for $12. It's on sale for $12. So I picked up 2 of these actually over the weekend because it was such a good deal. Hopefully that deal is still on by the time you guys are watching this video. But with the comfort and features, the Airhead is still one of the best pillows out there, even a year later. That doesn't mean the Airhead is the perfect pillow. There's 6 things that I think you could build the perfect pillow with, and all 3 of these really have them in some way or another. First up is the curved bottom. You put that on a pillow and you're gonna be starting off on great footing. Next up, have a foam topper. The Nemo filo foam topper is great. If you can get that a little bit lighter, that would be great to have it on a pillow. Having it under 150 grams would be the weight that I would target. That makes it manageable for bringing on ultralight trips, but gives you enough room to make it really comfortable. I'd also really like to have great two-way valve systems like we have on Sea to Summit's pillows as well as the Trichology here. And having a sleeping pad attachment system that's removable like you can do with the Trichology would be a really nice feature to have on a pillow. If someone can do all that as well as make it have supportive baffling like on the Airhead and Trichology and to a degree on the Nemo filo, then they would have the best pillow on the market, and I would be standing on rooftops and mountains screaming the praise of that pillow. So someone out there, get it done. So that's another 9 pillows reviewed. At some point, I'll make it through all the pillows on the market unless someone comes up with that golden goose pillow. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my videos on gear, trips, tips, and how-tos. Otherwise, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.